doing some clips from work. I'm on my break and I've brought my own little laptop in, so I can't see that I'm doing anything wrong. And I really wanted to do some clips from work because for a lot of people it's where we spend a lot of our week, and we're talking about how Christianity is relevant to life. And so to talk about the workplace is surely one of the most useful things you can talk about. Some people are still looking for work or can't work. I've been, a few months ago I was unemployed for a while, so I've been there myself. I do actually really want to do a clip or two on unemployment because I think that's really important, especially in balance with these clips, but quite a bit of what I say will still be relevant. What I say will be particularly relevant also to people that might not go out to work but who work from home, or people that are full-time parents or carers. So yeah, just listening out of interest. The first thing I want to say is that you don't need to be a vicar or a pastor to be useful to God and to live a really Christian life. Jesus asked his followers to make disciples in every nation, and like throughout the ages, Christians have wanted there to be sort of more and more added to their number throughout different countries of the world. But we also need Christians throughout different areas of our country and throughout all the different jobs in our country. So that's a different take on this kind of dispersal or scattering of Christians kind of all around our society. That's what we need. So it'd be no good if everyone was a vicar. And so in your job, you've got a lot that this is if you go to church, but that a vicar or a pastor doesn't have. They've got their things that they do, where they've probably got access maybe to say to do visits in prisons and hospitals, and meet other vicars for meetings, and they've got access to certain things that you can't do while you're at work. But then you've got the key to get into your workplace and your staff room that the vicar can't get into. So in a way, when you're a Christian, you're effectively a missionary in your own workplace. So God needs you in your workplace. Just checking the CCTV. Because he needs, like I was saying, he wants Christians to be scattered throughout the world, throughout the country, throughout all the different kinds of jobs. That's where they can make the most difference in the country and in our society, by influencing what they're doing in their particular job for God. It's really important to go to church, and I'll do some clips definitely on that. But the idea of at least like the once weekly meeting at church is that Christians in a local community come together and they worship God together, and they read the Bible together, and they're fed by God and they're fed by each other. When there's this sort of physical meeting of them in this church service, and then they scatter out back into their lives, and it's this movement that they come in and then they scatter out again into their jobs. And the last line of the set words that we use in the church that I go to, and it's set words that are used throughout England, I know. One of the last lines of the whole service is asking God to send us out in his power into our jobs and into our homes and our lives. But yeah, asking God to send us from church into our workplace, effectively, to live out what we've just been fed for, to live out our faith and our service to the God we've just been worshipping, to live out everything we've been studying in the Bible and praying about. So that's how church and the workplace are are linked together. And like I was saying, we don't all need to be vicars and pastors, and it would be a bit of a problem if we were. And we don't even need to be, when people pray for jobs in church, it tends to be they pray for nurses and doctors and missionaries. They're the really classic ones. And charity workers, that's another one that comes to mind. If everybody became a charity worker or something like that, you can just imagine the whole of society would come to an abrupt standstill, because you just imagine it. The transport system would come to a standstill. There'd be no shops, there'd be no food available, there'd be nowhere to go and have a drink, which is where a lot of important conversations happen. There'd be no IT support. There'd be nowhere to go and have fun and relax, which is extremely important in God's eyes too. So God needs you. God needs people in their different jobs, both so that they can, so that God's influence or God's rule can be kind of scattered around the country and throughout society, making a difference. And also because God cares about the smooth running of society, the moving forwards of the world, and each individual job that there is. I think I'd say definitely there are a few jobs that just God wouldn't approve of them, but for the most part, even jobs that don't seem your stereotypical I'm really helping people, or I'm a charity worker, or I'm a doctor, they're still extremely valuable in God's eyes. And that's the main thing that I want to get across in this first clip, is that whatever job you do, I expect that God really values what you do and finds the job extremely important to him, and would like to be part of it, and would like you to discover how you can live it out in a kind of prayerful way. So look at some of these other clips about what I'm calling workplace Christianity. Even if you're not a Christian, it might just be interesting to see how Christianity might be relevant to people's daily lives in their job. But yeah, definitely think about your job and think about how important it is to society and to the moving forwards of the world and to God himself.